Hello again. If you're new here, I'm Celinda, and on my channel we talk all things fashion, personal style, and more. And if you're returning then, welcome back, pal! Today I wanted to do a Bardcore fantasy medieval inspired lookbook based off of my Dungeons & Dragons character, Temerity. This is a character I've been playing for the last 3 years, and now that her adventure has come to an end, I wanted to immortalize her a bit by doing this lookbook. Plus, use it as an opportunity to make a bunch of fun D&D style fantasy outfits. I've played through 2 campaigns with this character. First, The Curse of Strahd, and most recently, Descent into Avernus. And she has had quite the journey with her adventuring group, the Twilight Vanguard. This video will be in 2 parts. Firstly, I will go over the character of Temerity and give you her backstory. And the second part will be a lookbook full of outfits that I think she would wear based off of her adventures. Let's get started! Temerity is a purple tiefling bard, multi-class with a few levels in Warlock. She is larger than life, charismatic, and lives very truly to her honor name Temerity. I based her characterization off of like a combination between Annie Oakley and Dolly Parton, with her bard ability and spellcasting aesthetic really being modeled after a Wild West style gun show review, and using her spellcasting ability to make those tricks larger than life. I did a lot of research while making this character, and probably unknown to the rest of my party, I snuck in a lot of Easter eggs into her characterization. Starting with her surname, her name is Temerity Mosey, and Mosey was actually the real-life surname of Annie Oakley. I also had multiple documents where I had master lists of jokes, sayings, retorts, and scripts from real period-accurate Wild West jokes and Wild West reviews that were taking place during the time. And I would sprinkle those into my combat and the way she would move about the world, like if I was casting Vicious Mockery or Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So that's a background on her character, but what about her story? As a baby, Temerity was dropped on the porch of a pair of gator farmers who lived on the outskirts of the Mere of Dead Men. It was there that her talent with gun tricks was noticed by her parents, and when she was old enough, she was sent to the college to develop her bard skills. Of course, with a magical vest that had a special pocket that could always pull out a piece of her family's gator jerky to remind her of home. She was then spirited away by the powers that be to Barovia, where she met the group that would soon become the Twilight Vanguard. During their journey to try to rid Barovia of the evil powers of Strahd von Zavarovich, Temerity's mouth got the better of her, and Strahd one-shot killed her dead. Before she had fully passed on, she made a pact with a devil called Lazar, who gave her back her life as long as she would go to the Amber Temple and bring him this item from the depths. A pact she quickly made, as this was pretty early on in the story and nobody had any kind of resurrection powers. She kept this a secret from her friends for a long time, and when the group finally reached the Amber Temple and retrieved the heart of Vampire, she promptly walked it directly to the Devil Strahd, which was quite a moment of betrayal for the group, which in her heart of hearts was not something she wanted to do. But she had made a pact, and she knew how serious pacts with devils were. The group forgave her, and they continued on, eventually ousting Strahd from Barovia and restoring peace amongst the land. But there were still things in motion. What was Lazar going to do with the heart of Vampire? It's then that the actions of Descent into Avernus began to take place. After the city of El Terrell was dragged into the 9 Hells, the Twilight Vanguard were hired to investigate and try to fix this problem. They fought their way through Avernus and learned that the Pact Primeval had been broken, which needed to be restored should the normal order of things continue to exist. After much more adventuring and Mad Max style racing through the Hells, Temerity and the Twilight Vanguard learned that her father was actually the Devil Lazar, and he had originally brought her to Barovia so she could get the heart of Vampire for him, which he used to break the Pact Primeval. Lots of inner conflict for Temerity and the group, but in the end they had to kill Lazar to free him from his pact with Vampire to restore the natural balance of things. That action was noticed by Asmodeus, the ruler of all devil kind, and as thanks for restoring the balance in hell, he offered granted them a wish spell. They used that wish spell to return Elturel and its people to the material plane. While Temerity was not able to save her father, she was able to find and save her birth mother, who she reconnected with, which allowed Temerity to fill in the gaps of her past. In the aftermath of these great threats, the Twilight Vanguard went on to live their much more ordinary lives, and Temerity went on tour, setting aside her original Wild West review style show, and instead telling the tales of the Twilight Vanguard. So that's 3 years and 2 campaigns, super abridged. So hopefully you have a bit more of an idea of what you're about to see in regards to Temerity's outfits. There'll be some Western-inspired wear, some more classic Dungeons & Dragons Bardcore fantasy style outfits, and I'll do my best to smash the two together and see what I can make. For her Gator Farm outfit, I'm starting at a much more Western style base, as this is before her grand adventure has really begun. I have my favorite Western blouse and my go-to brown circle skirt. I've added some suspenders and my felt hat to accessorize, plus some fingerless gloves which will make any rope knots Tem needs to do easier on the hands. This is exactly how I pictured her when I started making her character, minus the purple skin of course. I'm going for a more traditional bard style outfit for her college look. I think coming from such a different place than other students, she would try her best to fit in and adopt a more classic bard style. I have a white shirt which I've opened up a bit at the chest to give that romantic bard look with an open vest on top. Temerity has a magical fiddle, but Celinda doesn't, so take this flute to be a representation of her more bard-like qualities. Barovia is the ultimate gothic setting, so I wanted to play it up for this look. I have on a medieval style white dress as a base, and have paired it with a black suspender dress on top. I think the corset detail in the center really ties the look together. I've also added some necklaces to accessorize, making sure to get some red in there to bring in the idea of vampires and blood. I feel ready to take on Strahd von Zavarevich. For this look, I'm taking inspiration from kind of a Dune and Mad Max mashup. I have a long hooded dress, which I've added some leather accessories to. I have some patchwork gloves, which I think look really cool, and a long scarf to keep that Avernus dust out of my face. If I had some goggles, I'd add them here too, but I don't. So I'm asking you to pretend with me wearing these sunglasses. This outfit kind of represents an alternative path for Temerity. When she was in Avernus, her father tried to convince her to join forces so they could rule the 9 hells together. So this outfit represents that alternate path, if she had joined Lazar. I have a very devilish red and black outfit on, with my favorite red blouse and medieval style black corset dress. And I have a unique kind of devilish hand accessory to finish out the look. I think Tem would feel powerful but sad had she followed that path. This outfit is a celebratory look after the world has been saved. Temerity has become a master bard and travels all over telling the stories of the Twilight Vanguard. The dress is long, has a hint of sparkle, but is still rooted in the kind of looks Temerity has always been drawn to. I imagine she would wear this at various galas at the places she tours her shows, always keeping her ears open for the next great story to tell. I would love to know what you thought of these Bardcore style outfits. Do you play Dungeons & Dragons? If so, I would love to know what campaign you're currently on and what your current character is, or if there's any from the past that you have a particular attachment to. Playing a bard, and especially playing Temerity, has been so much fun, and she has really become a part of my real life soul. Anytime I need an extra boost of confidence in my life, I just ask myself, what would Temerity do? And I do it. I'm already on to my next campaign and my next character, and I can't wait to see where Seluneva, the Harengon Twilight Cleric, takes me. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you could like it. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. I upload new videos on Fridays. I hope you have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!